fan or watching Snap weren't good for my mental health. The things I see on a daily basis be on a daily melt. For real.
Episode 75. We're starting off 2023 with a bang. We've got a guest from Perth, but living in Sydney. He's an icon here in the bass scene.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we've got AVANCE on.
What's up?
And his girlfriend, Emma.
Hi, guys. How you going?
Good.
I have one question to start things off.
Go for it.
Me and my missus have a bit of a debate at home.
Mm-hmm.
Is your name AVANCE or AVANCE?
Now, it can really be whatever you want.
Yep.
AVANCE.
AVANCE?
AVANCE?
Oh, fuck, I lost.
I'm from London, so that's just my accent.
Yeah.
AVANCE. But like Americans normally go AVANCE.
AVANCE,
But,
yeah.
and sometimes I catch myself doing that. But yeah, AVANCE generally
AVANCE?
is what I call myself.
Yeah, that was one of my questions. How you come up with that name?
Well, I get asked that, and every time I'm like, fuck, I gotta explain. But not because it's not the most dramatic story. But I was a kid when I started. I was really young. I was like 12 when I started this whole thing.
Yep.
And instead of like I would do now, come up with something evil and horror related. Back then, I was like, I want to be successful. I want to really kill it. And if I'm gonna do this, and so I just started searching different names in different languages.
Cool.
Different words and it's similar to advance, but it means just succeed, I think, in some random language.
Dope.
Which, that's why I don't explain it often, because that sounds way cheesier than someone being like, oh, because it's the name of a devil that, from the Bible or something. But mine just means pretty much that if I'm going to do this, I'm gonna kill it. So,
Fuck yeah,
Cool.
that's sick.
That's probably the best explanation for a name I've ever heard, to be honest.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
What was Bombs? It was like, him and his mate's
Him and
names
his mate
together?
started a duo called Brothers of Mayhem, and that's how he got his
Yes,
name.
I remember them as a duo. I know them both. Yeah.
I asked
Cameron's a
you
good
the
guy.
other day, and you were like, "No idea. It must be like B-O-M-B, but without the B."
Yeah, I thought that was my initial response, but then when you said they're a duo, I actually it's been so many years now since they parted that I'd forgotten that it was once a duo.
Yeah.
Cameron's a good guy.
Yeah, no, we love him, mate.
He's one of our favourites.
He's coming back in Jan.
He is,
End of Jan. He's playing on the beach.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Is he on the beach?
Yeah, he's on the beach
Oh, fuck.
in Frio.
Yeah,
no,
we'll
he
have to
wa-
hook up with him. He'll be good.
Yeah, definitely. He wanted to come over here for a while because he had the drum and bass scene over here really popping, which it is, and he's made the switch over recently to drum and bass, which he's doing really well. So
Yeah,
good
he's
to see.
doing really well. We love his music.
Yeah.
And we love yours as well. But so one of my other questions was that you're from Perth,
Yes.
but you said you're from England as well, or the
I
UK?
am, yeah. I moved over when I was, I think, 14.
Yep.
I lived in the UK, just outside of London.
Okay.
It's just easier to say London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I lived there for most of my life, and then I moved to a small town outside of Perth and went to school, finished like the last year or two of school, and I was doing music then already.
Yep.
And then I moved out of home. As soon as I finished school, I moved out of home. I think I was 16, and moved to Perth and to play shows, and had to get parental forms to sign so I could play shows underage.
true,
things
really?
Like that, yeah. Right at the gate. So since I left home at 16, I've never been back.
Crazy.
Yeah, and now here we are.
Is all your family still here?
Yeah, they live in Geraldton. It was like 4 or 5 hours from.
Oh, so
Perth.
you're from Geraldton.
That's where I initially moved. Yeah.
Holy
That's
crap.
where my missus is from.
Really?
Geraldton,
Yeah. I've got
They
a.
probably know each other.
Yeah,
Everyone in
she knows you.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
gone to kick-ons a few times, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, apparently so.
He is
Wow.
a kick on.
I've heard some stories, sir.
Yeah, I do
Oh.
like to party. I do like to party.
At least you're open about it.
Yeah.
Brings a bottle of Jameson to the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, get on it, mate.
Thanks for the beers.
You're welcome.
We'll give it cheers.
I've never
Cheers.
had an Asahi before.
Oh, they're
Oh.
beautiful.
Can't lie.
Cheers, mate.
Can't lie. Fake cheers.
Yeah, your fake cheers.
I was like-
I should have bought 4.
You'd be the first guest we've had on that drinks on the podcast. There you go.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, damn. Is that good or bad?
Very good.
Very, very good. Very good.
I'd like more people to drink on the podcast.
Yep.
Lockie's not a big drinker though.
I'm
Oh,
not, but
shit.
I'm feigning a beer today, so
Wonderful.
It's the
a
weather.
hot day.
perfect.
Yeah.
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 He was just putting them back in the car. Like, he's had like 5 already.
Yeah. I mean, it's not an alcoholic. It's the holidays and being around family and just, chilling the fuck out. So I've
Yep.
just been drinking and having fun.
And they'll go warm if they sit in the car. So he has
That's right.
to.
That's true.
Be a
Really,
waste.
I'm helping,
Obligated.
Yeah, you are.
it'd be rude not to.
Yeah. It's just, then have to go back in the fridge. Why?
Yeah.
just drink them, get rid of them.
What's your favorite beer on the whole planet?
Desperado.
No shit.
That is a tequila beer.
Ew.
What?
I hate tequila.
I've actually
man.
never heard of
They're
it.
so strong. Like I drink 2 and I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Like
I'll be
they're
smashed
so-
after this.
Yeah. But it doesn't taste like tequila. Like when you think of tequila in a beer, that to most that might sound a bit gross, but they just have this beautiful flavor, and they're like 7%.
What's it called?
7%.
Desperado. Yeah.
He's noting it down in his notes.
Yeah, you gotta try it.
Yeah,
You
it's
do.
the best beer, definitely.
Yeah, we're a big fan of the single fins around here.
Yeah, that's all I
Do you like
drink.
the single fins too?
Yeah, we love
it,
the single
mate.
fins.
After a
I
hot
hate
day.
A single fin.
Oh, stop it, you. Come on.
Not a pale ale fan.
Not a
no.
pale ale fan.
Neither was I, and then I had single fin. It changed my life.
Yeah.
They're just very like florally for me.
Yeah.
Like I like Guinness and like you
I
know
love
like
a
stouts
Guinness.
and shit like that.
Is that like sour?
It's like
It's like-
dirt water.
Yeah, it's very acquired taste, but yeah, we love a Guinness.
Yeah.
That's the
shirt
Pommy in
from the
you.
op shop-
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. I
Yeah.
got a shirt from the op shop the other day and it says Guinness on it and it's like bedazzled. Like
Like in Diamontes.
Diamond.
Fair enough.
That's a good find.
I know.
Yeah.
What a score.
So, how long are you in Perth for?
I think maybe another day.
Yeah.
I've got a show in Brisbane. Yeah, the festival in Eaton's Hill.
Okay.
Which is gonna be fun. I don't know the whole lineup, but it's myself and Gentleman's Club, Mode Step,
True.
like
Example.
breakfast.
All the boys going.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's gonna be fun. New Year's Day.
Oh, nice.
But we've got to get there before New Year's Eve, preferably, so that we're not scrambling to try and get flights. So,
Yep.
but yeah, that's so we're here for maybe another day. I think.
Haven't even booked our flights yet. So we were meant to go.
It's going to
like,
be expensive.
when I saw you at that festival on what was it?
Breakfast.
Breakfast,
Yeah.
yeah. When I
Yeah.
saw you, we were meant to leave that day, and we thought, do you know what? We'll go to Breakfast. We'll see if it's any good. We stayed for an hour. We should have flown out.
Yes.
You didn't like it?
No, we
Oh,
liked it.
We turned up late, and we weren't like
Oh.
the drink. What was good about that? The drink lines were really like
They were quick.
They were
Quick,
quick,
yeah.
because everyone's just messed up on drugs.
It's that time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one's got work, so everyone's like, fuck yeah.
Toilets, on the other hand.
Oh my God,
Oh,
don't.
God.
Yeah, Vinny
I
was
lit-
saying about this
I
yesterday.
lined up I didn't realize that it was a female line as well.
Yeah.
I've never been to a festival that has just a female line.
Yeah.
And I saw the blokes, so I lined up, and this 40-year-old lady was there, and she like, this is the girls' line. And I'm like, oh no, sorry, I didn't realize. And she's like, we should probably get out. I'm like, I'm literally right in front of it. I'm not lining up for another 20
Yeah,
minutes.
No way. And I refuse. Most men think I'm weird, but I refuse to go in the
Urinal?
urinal or
Same,
troughs
same.
It's all right.
because I find it weird pulling my boy equipment out
Boy equipment.
in front of other dudes.
He's like, can I say penis on here?
shoulder to shoulder?
I can only do it if I've got a corner.
Yeah, like
Literally, like
or
back
it's
towards
empty.
everyone.
No
Yeah.
one's coming in.
The room's empty, but those urinals, right? There was a line to get in the urinals.
Fucking
And all the
hell.
boys like shoulder to shoulder. Like they may as well just be like touching tips at this rate.
Yeah,
And
they're
the
always
door
like,
was
"How you
open.
doing?"
Yeah, the door's open. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck
Yeah, they-
that. I
No
wouldn't
thanks.
do that. No way.
So why was the move to Sydney? Like, why'd you do the move to Sydney?
It was to benefit for both of us. Emma here works for a company that's based out of Sydney.
Yep.
So it benefited her easily, and for me, it's Sydney. Everywhere flies out of Sydney. To go to wherever it is, like New Zealand it's all closer to Sydney.
Yep.
Yeah.
So whereas when I've done touring from Perth, as much as I love being in Perth as well, it's you got to do the 5-hour or 4 or 5 hour flight to Sydney and then fly out somewhere. So it just makes things easier.
Would it make you get more bookings because that people don't have to pay for expensive flights? Or?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did think that
Yep.
because it's like what, a 1 hour flight to
Yep.
Brisbane or something.
Easy peasy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
we went
good.
for
then.
the day the other day, just to
Oh, just for the day?
just for the
Yeah.
day in
To have some
Brisbane.
dinner, yeah.
Just to have
Just
yeah.
have some dinner.
Someone invited us. One of his music friends invited us out to dinner, and we just went for the day. That's how close of a flight it is. Like
Imagine if we
crap.
could do that, bro. So we're going to Brizzy for a fucking...
You're always broke, bro. You can't.
Oh, bro, I would not be able to go to Brisbane right now, even if I lived in Sydney, bro.
Yeah, we've got a lot of friends in Brisbane, like Dasim, Avion,
Yeah.
all them
yeah,
boys.
I know Avion. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had
That's
all
cool.
those boys on these podcasts.
Yeah.
So next year we want to do like a tour. We want to go to like Brisbane and Sydney and then to Adelaide
Yep.
and then come back to Perth.
Absolutely.
do like a
That'll be
tour.
fun.
Yeah, it's good having like this kind of podcast because we've met so many great musicians and people
Yeah.
along the way.
There are some good people out there.
Oh, amazing, man.
Everyone we've had on have been so nice. Like, we
Yeah.
haven't had one person who's, like, really egotistical and, like, kind of, what's the word? Condescending.
Yeah.
Everyone's been really like nice.
You gotta have
Now
one.
we're on here.
But you bought us beer, so it's okay.
We forgive you.
That's just to loosen you boys up.
Yeah, fucking oath. So with the music, you got much planned for next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's almost so much planned that my manager's like, "What are you doing?" I've got multiple EPs that are like in draft phase. You know, like they're all ready. I've got 2 or 3 that I want to put out, and then I'm also wanting to somewhat do a label down the line. Not now, but instead of just start a label, because it's done a lot, it's saturated. There's a lot of labels, and it has to be done right, and you have to have a bigger following than I do for one,
Yeah.
and a lot of money. But I'm planning to kind of just release maybe albums where I collab with artists that are kind of similar style to me or inspired by me, or do that kind of horror style of music.
Yep.
And then release these albums collabing with all these people, and then once that builds momentum, then I'll turn it into a label.
Yeah, cool.
Once it has traction, instead of just go boom label, and
Yep.
it could flop or it could do well.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's an idea. So whether to put some of these collabs that are on the EPs into this album, or do 3 EPs next year, or what, I'm not 100% sure, but there will be an EP early next year.
Cool. Excited.
Yeah.
And whether you got any plans to go over the States or anywhere else?
Yes. We're looking at. I mean, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah,
Maybe go to the US. But I think we're going to do the US next year, and I'm not going to confirm any of them, but Canada as well,
Cool.
possibly.
Ooh.
Canada and the US next year, as well as some other places. So
That's good, mate.
it's going to be a
wicked.
hell of a year. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've always thought you should be in the States over some of these other people I've seen over there. I've seen, as long as I can remember, I've been watching you in the crowd. So
Yeah.
I always wonder when you're ever going to get over there, because you probably deserve it.
Yeah,
Like most of these
thank
other
you.
people.
Yeah, it's just been it's very difficult to get over there,
Yeah.
especially if you're in Australia. And I didn't really, before COVID was when it was going to happen, and then it definitely put a hold on things, and I'm grateful that it did, because now I have so much new material. Now I have so much new material, and I've gotten better, more releases. So and when I went over there just to write music and stuff and stay with friends, the fan base over there is insane. Like, tenfold what it is here.
Yeah.
Which was really shocking in a good way.
Surprising,
So,
really.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to starting touring over there. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. That's crazy. Yeah, because I felt like after COVID, I did feel like your music had more of like, it was you, you know what I mean? Like you had your own style. That was like every song you released, that you could just tell it was you.
Yeah, look, a lot of isolating myself in dark rooms, playing horror music, driving myself nuts, trying to properly mix like horror scoring with electronic music, and not just do a horror theme on the intro of a song and then a dubstep drop or something. I wanted to make the whole thing like a horror score. It's hard to explain, but hopefully you know what I mean. But and I just execute that properly, and that's what that Welcome to My Nightmare, it was introducing that kind of style, which all through COVID I was trying to nail that.
Yeah.
And even though there was only a lot of people I saw complain that there was 3 tracks and they were short, but there was originally about 10 that I had, but now that I had to have it good enough, I'd spend that long being quiet in these dark rooms.
Yeah.
So it had to be perfect. So that was more of an introduction to pretty much all of next year.
Well, we always say quality over quantity. Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
mate.
That's
Absolutely. And all 3 of those tunes were fucking bangers.
Yes, sir.
The first tune on the EP, I can't remember what it's called. I do apologise.
Welcome
But
to My Nightmare. is the
yeah,
first one.
oh my fucking God. I remember when it came out,
Yeah.
since the VINNY'S show, I was like, you need to listen to this shit like right now. Because he loves his horror shit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is right up his alley.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was
that
fucking
one's,
awesome.
Yeah, that's my favorite too.
Yeah, Emma actually helped me, inspired me with the intro for that. But it's actually inspired by Thriller, Michael Jackson.
Oh, true.
'Cause how it
What?
has
Really?
how it has the atmosphere and the kind of ominous melody with a just a monotone person saying like a poem pretty much through it.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much what happens at the start of the music video and the song for Thriller. And I thought, but not many people actually got it. And then when I mentioned it, they go, "Oh shit,
That's
great
crazy.
song."
What the I have to listen back to that now.
Yeah.
Picture
Yeah.
that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's with your love for horror? Like, have you always just loved it as like a kid, or
Always, yeah. And I find that horror can scare you for one.
Mm-hmm.
With the cinematics, I find the cinematics, they always have to go one up from a lot of movies to make you feel something.
Yep.
And it can have, romance, it can have action, it can have everything in it. It can even have comedy.
Yep.
All in one, and have the horror aesthetic. I just think it has the whole package.
Yep.
And I think also I didn't always write horror music. It was originally I was trying to just write what I liked at the time. If like Flume came out, I'd try and write that kind of stuff. But anytime I would try, it would just be evil. I would try and write a melody, and it would just sound evil. And then it was like, why can't you make anything happy? It was just always, it was always really dark. So, and then I thought, why not just do it? Just stick with it, see what flows. And then, quickly it caught on that people think I'm an evil person. So I just, just caught on. I'm actually a nice guy, by the way.
Yeah, that's cool. And I did message you a question. I want to know your top 5 horror movies.
Yeah. It's a hard one. Do you mean in general,
In
or
general.
like this year in general?
In general.
Oh, it's always a hard one.
Yeah,
But,
I find it difficult to pinpoint my favorites as well.
yeah, because some of them are because of the aesthetic and the image they created. So like Halloween is actually my top.
Really?
Yes, the original. You're like, I picked the right
Good job, buddy.
title for
Good
that.
job, buddy.
Yeah, the original first Halloween is my favorite because that one, and the scoring to it,
Yep.
and the fact that John Carpenter directed the movie and scored it,
Yep.
and the vibe that he created, the creepy vibe that he created in that movie, just from someone with a mask on.
Yeah, it's really
walking around,
it's good you say that because I actually watched a documentary on that because it was like the first one of its kind.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how like people went to that movie because it's crazy now. Like you watch a horror movie and a lot of people are like, I'm not scared.
Yeah.
And then back then they didn't have a phone or anything. It was like the first movie of its kind and people were scared to walk to their cars.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that's crazy. That movie could like impact you that
Yeah,
much to be
definitely.
scared of real life.
It started a wave of horror movies for sure. So that's definitely number one. Number two, I would say, which is more of it's got a more of a gimmick vibe to it, but Scream. I love Scream.
Scream's
Lots
my
of people
favourite,
have seen me reference Scream on Twitter and stuff, but and it's because of the image that it created. Like I saw that originally when when they created that character, they thought it was a bit gimmicky and silly, but it's so iconic.
It is iconic, yeah.
And that's what I love about it. Like the movies are good, especially the new one, Scream 5.
I love the Scream 5.
I
I
thought
haven't
it was
seen
insane.
any of them.
Are you kidding?
I haven't even seen
Really?
Halloween, bro.
Oh my
What?
god. Well, after this,
Dan
you've got to
makes me
sit down and
watch.
watch some.
You make me
Yeah.
watch all of them.
I-
I'm
I-
over it.
The Scream 1, I've actually never watched it more than once because for the fact that the first time I watched it, it was a masterpiece to me.
Yep.
I actually think if I rewatched that now, I don't think I'd have the same feeling for it
Yep.
because I actually never knew who the killers were in it.
Yep.
And we won't say because he hasn't fucking watched it.
You need to watch some of these.
Yeah.
You not.
I do.
fan of
I do.
horror?
I like the new style. I like the the supernatural kind of things rather
Yeah.
than the fucking what's it called, like
Serial killers.
serial killers and shit. I like
Yeah.
the spooky shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely could name some, that's for sure. But yeah, they're definitely my top two. Then when it gets from there, then it always kind of moves around. And not to mention, my mind goes blank when I get asked a question like this. But
Yeah.
Skinamarink, have you heard of that?
No.
It's not officially released. It was in film festivals. It was released in film festivals, and you could watch it. And then it's now I think it's even debating whether it's coming out because
True.
yeah. And I posted on Twitter about it, and I said that this was the first movie to make me turn it off. It was and I posted on Twitter and just said it made me turn it off in a way that it made me so uncomfortable. Like
Okay.
it made me
Yeah.
so stressed.
Okay.
I was sitting and it went the Twitter went the tweet went nuts and people were asking about it and stuff. And it's very weird. It's like a analog experimental movie and it's a lot of still shots of rooms and the idea of it is two kids that are trapped in a house and their parents have gone missing. And just like furniture and shit starts moving and going on the walls, and it just shoots like corners of rooms and stuff for most of the movie. But if you don't really get it, you'll probably be like, this sucks.
Yeah.
But it's trying to make you feel like you're a child and you're scared of the dark and you're trapped alone and you're claustrophobic. And after about, I think there was half an hour left, I had to take a break because my chest felt tight. And then this voice that was coming from upstairs just starts speaking to the kids. And it's just so creepy.
That's
Like,
good. I want to watch that because
Yeah.
I love that kind of feeling.
Yeah, it was really strange. But yeah, I did have people go, it was just like still shots of rooms for ages, and I was like, yeah, it's supposed to make you kind of sit in a trance and start to like see things in the dark that aren't there and things like that, and it really freaked me out.
Yeah.
So that probably, I don't know where it would go, maybe 3, I think, because it made me feel so uncomfortable.
It did its job.
That's rare for you though.
Yeah,
like,
it's never done
usually,
it.
Dan, like we watched like the Jeffrey Dahmer. Did you guys watch that new?
Oh, I
Yeah,
loved
yeah.
that.
I had to stop watching it. Like I literally, my whole family, I was like, you guys are sick. Like Dan was like, I'm really enjoying this. And I'm like, you guys are fucking sick. Like, like I can't watch this. I actually went to my room.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
That
you
was-
watched about 20 minutes of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It is a bit full on, but I'm the same as like Dan. Like I enjoyed it. Like,
Yeah.
but I didn't think it was that bad as people said it was.
Yeah.
Like it was uncomfortable, but in the end of the day, I watch it and I'm like, I do feel like what happened in real life, but also it's just a TV show.
Yeah. Yeah. It,
I got a massive man crush on that guy, by the way.
Evan Peters.
Evan
Yeah,
Peters,
for
a lot of
real,
people do.
man.
He's an insane actor. Yeah.
He's really fucking good, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Played so many roles, and I think that
So
one took
many
a toll on him.
dark-
Yeah.
So many dark roles he's
Yeah.
played.
Do you watch the American Horror Stories?
Yeah, I watched most of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
First one's my favorite.
Yeah, first one's always good.
Yeah.
Coven was my favorite.
A lot of people actually say that, eh?
Coven was so good, but I think that it's like a lot of girls like Coven because it's just about witches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Makes sense. Yeah, the Dharma one, I remember when Emma like walked out after about 20 minutes, and then I'm sitting there going, oh yeah, that barrel was in the corner there, the blue one, that's where he stored the body, and then I'm like, wait a minute, am I fucked up? And then just to the right in that bedroom there was where a shrine was. Like I knew all that from like watching the documentaries, but
They left a lot out. They left a lot out of that show.
Yeah, they did.
Like the actual shrine. Have you seen the actual shrine?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
fucked.
And the drawing that he did of it. Yeah,
Have you seen the photos?
Yeah.
The crime scene photos?
I have.
Is,
Yeah.
the shrine
That-
that made out of
bro,
bones, isn't it?
It's bones and like.
Yeah,
I won't say it on
yeah.
the pod because
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
people might be triggered by it, but like it's pretty fucked.
Fuck yeah, I
But
do
like,
know that.
like
yeah.
all the Polaroids that he took, there's actual like crime scene photos of them,
Yeah,
and I've seen them on Pinterest.
no.
Oh, Pinterest. Wait, no. What's the other one? Reddit.
Oh,
On
Reddit, yeah.
yeah.
Pinterest.
It definitely wasn't a roastery chicken in the freezer either. I'll tell you that.
Oh, fucking hell.
But yeah,
I mean, that would trigger me. just
I
to
enjoy watching
chicken
that
and
stuff. Like psychological real documentaries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But not because I'm a weirdo. Most people might think so, but because I find it interesting watching things about humans that do things that are unhuman.
Yeah.
You know, doing things that I would never do, and go, you know, why do they do that? How do they do that? So I find it really interesting.
Yep.
And a lot of that stuff inspires a lot of the music I make as well, like the scoring and stuff.
Yep.
Not just what Jeffrey Dahmer did,
So,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
the scoring and the cinematics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'll use as inspiration to write stuff.
Have you seen Night Stalker on Netflix?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That is so fucking good.
that was really good too. Yeah,
It's about fuck. What's his name?
I can't remember
Night
his name.
Stalker.
been a
Richard
while.
Ramirez.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you need to watch that, Vinny. That's
a
really
very
good.
good one.
It's
Is that the
really
4-episode one?
good. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I've heard about it. It
it's
is on my
really-
list.
It's done really well.
Yeah, he was someone that terrified a neighborhood for
He's
years,
a
I
creepy
think.
looking bloke, hey.
Yeah,
Creepy looking bloke.
They're all pretty creepy looking though. Hey.
yeah.
It's crazy how
wash.
those people think though, eh? Like the real life psychopaths and just
Yeah.
like what pushes like, and a lot of it I watched like true crime like Ted Bundy and that they all have like trauma
Yeah, it's all
as from younger.
how they were raised. Yeah, it's and it develops trauma in their brain. Some of them, people argue whether it's how they were raised or if they're just evil. You know, it can be imbalanced chemicals in their brain or brain damage, things like that. But it's honestly it's a mixture of all of them, which
Yeah.
makes people do that. So they pretty much just have no what's
Is
the
it like
word?
frontal
Remorse.
Remorse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
They're definitely those guys that are like, where's my hug? That was
Yeah.
that's them. Those
Yeah.
creepy motherfuckers.
Got ya. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No other horror movies you want to add? 2 more?
The only ones I can think of are the ones I've seen recently. So I guess I'll name ones that I thought were really good. Barbarian.
I'm still yet to watch that. It's on my
Yeah.
list. It's my number one to watch.
That was really good. I'd not known much about it. I just knew that it was highly rated, and I would say that movie. Everything, you know, when you watch a horror movie, for example, and you go, "Oh, this is going to happen," you know, they've turned their back on a dark doorway, something's going to come out. It doesn't.
Okay.
And it like kind of makes you think things are going to happen, and then just this thing like shit happens in it, and you're like, I was not expecting that.
Good.
Like,
I love
it's,
those kind of movies.
Yeah, that's a really good movie. I really enjoyed that. I still haven't seen Smile yet. And people
I was
were talking
going to
about
ask you that. Have you seen Smile?
it. No, I haven't seen it yet. Only reason why is because we haven't seen it yet, but we're staying with family at the moment and they've all seen it. So
Yeah. Do you go to the cinema much?
yes.
Yeah, see that I watched that in the cinema, and I felt like that was more of a cinema movie because
Yeah.
there's a lot of jump scares in it,
Yep.
and I don't really get jump scared much, but that did the job, eh?
Yeah, it's
There's-
audio.
Yeah, it's just so loud, and that's why I love going to watch horror in the cinema, where a lot of my friends are too much of bitches to do it.
Yep.
Because they don't actually like being scared.
Yeah, that's it.
And then like I,
Throw shade at me, boy.
yeah, well, a lot of
That was directly
he's
at
one of
me.
them.
I'm a pussy. Yeah, I'm a pussy.
My mum like screams in the cinema, doesn't she?
Yes.
Well,
my
it was like the first week it came out, and the cinema was packed, and there was a lot of people screaming, and I think that's what made me scared a lot more because people around me were like jumping and screaming,
Yeah.
which fucking frights me as well.
That's it. Yeah. Hereditary. I watched that in the movies.
Yeah,
And that's another one that some people found boring, but I feel that's people that don't really watch
Yeah.
horror movies for
movies.
the love of horror movies. They
Yeah.
watch them because they hear it's a scary movie. But that one I watched in the movies, and especially because of the speakers in the room, the rumbling it causes. Like actually, in a lot of horror movies they create a rumble that's almost inaudible that makes you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It had a lot of that, and it just made you feel. That was another movie that made you feel really stressed
yeah,
and just uneasy.
yeah.
And that's why they nailed that movie. It was psychological, whereas people, were expecting jump scares and stuff like that. But if it makes you feel, changes your emotion in a big way like that, they're the ones that I think are really good horror movies.
Yeah, it's good. Funny you say that because I went and watched X this year in the cinema,
Yeah.
and I've never actually watched a movie that made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that's a slasher movie,
Yeah.
but what they did is like slow burn scenes, like you said, and rumble and like the things they were doing in it. Have you seen it?
I've seen parts of it, and my thought was they kind of tried to capture the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe with it.
I can see where you're going with that, yeah. But I really felt uncomfortable watching it because it was just like that stuff that could really happen
Yeah.
in real life, and I think that's made me creep out more.
Absolutely.
And some of the scenes they were doing, like there was a scene where like the old lady was like touching a girl in her sleep,
Yeah.
putting blood on her, and like while she was naked, and it went for ages. It felt like
Makes you uncomfortable.
it probably went for like 2 minutes, but for me it felt 10 minutes. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I'm
yeah.
just like, oh, this is like I couldn't sit still,
Yeah.
and I don't really get many movies like that could make me not sit still.
Absolutely. They're the ones that I think are the best. Yeah.
Watching
Yeah.
sex scenes with your parents, you're like, please.
Yeah,
That's so awkward, eh?
Literally, you're like, this has gone on for 10 minutes. Please, I
Oh,
need it.
when I was younger, and I would be like, Mum, not really young, obviously, but when I was younger, and
What are you watching? with your parents?
and I'd be like, Mum, Dad, this is a good movie, and then I'd put it on, and then like as it gets in, I'm like, fuck, I forgot about that scene.
Yeah.
And
Now
so
I remember
just,
why it's good.
and I would just
Titties.
get up and casually go to the toilet,
Yeah.
and I'd be in the toilet, not even going to the toilet, being like,
Just
Is it
waiting
done
for
yet?
yeah,
waiting for the moaning to stop.
The worst
it.
is your parents make jokes when we go over there and we watch movies and there's
Oh.
sex scenes. They'll be like, haha, me and your dad's gonna do
Oh.
that. And
Yeah.
I'll be like, I'm gonna kill myself.
Emma's sitting there so uncomfortable, and I'm sitting there like, you never do this. But yeah, no,
No,
that's it.
that's it. Okay.
Mm.
You want to
Do
go on
you-
the questions?
Well, yeah, I will do the Instagram questions first, but before we do that, do you like other style of movies? Because
Oh,
Vinny's
yeah.
a big Marvel head.
I am.
You
Yeah, I
Marvel
love
head?
my Spider-Man.
Oh, look at that shit, bro.
Oh shit!
And I got the Green Goblin here.
You are such a fan.
Yeah.
We're good friends now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. No, this is my favorite tattoo because for as long as I can remember, my nana used to babysit me.
Yeah.
When I was younger, Mum used to work, and all she had was either Pokemon or Spider-Man, the first one on the VCR.
Best movie.
Yeah, and constantly has watched it my whole life, and I still watch it to this day and never get sick of it.
Yep, me too.
Just like, when No Way Home came out, that was the
lit.
best cinema experience of my life.
Oh my god.
Dan cried. He
Shit
cried.
myself.
Oh yeah, we cried.
We cried.
We were all like, "Fuck off!"
We went
to
to opening night, Karen Up, like this brand new cinema, like huge extreme screen.
Yeah.
So there was people sitting on the stairs. I think they must have just snuck in.
Yeah.
And I remember like when he opened the portal and you can see Andrew Garfield, we're like, that's him. That's him. It's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening. And the whole cinema was like jumping and throwing popcorn. Oh, it was,
Absolutely. I was holding Emma's wrist, and I was like, "This is it. This is it." And, she only like got into it from me, so
Yeah.
she's just like, "Yeah, it is." And I'm like, "No, but you don't understand. This is Andrew Garfield. Tobey Maguire's coming."
it's like, this is 20 years in the making
Yeah.
for this best movie ever.
I lost my mind, and when the Green Goblin ball.
Oh, stop it.
We waited like a week to go see it though, and Dan was like stopped going on his phone. He literally like was gonna delete all the apps. He was like, I cannot see any teasers for
You get
this.
death threats if you ruin it for me.
Yeah, well, that's because when the first trailer dropped and they threw the Green Goblin ball, I shit you not, I reckon that was my most watched video on YouTube last year. I watched it like so many times, and like me and the boys did like movie nights watching all the Spider-Mans leading up, and then we watched the trailer at the end, and I was still so fucking excited. And as soon as tickets came out, I was like on Twitter, like I just could not wait.
Yeah, best moment. That was a highlight of that year for sure.
Yeah, I think that was the highlight of our friendship.
But what's a bigger moment? No Way Home or when Cap grabs the hammer?
I reckon No Way Home.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there.
You reckon when Captain America grabbed the hammer?
It's more of a surprise. More of a surprise.
See, I would say I'd forgotten about that part. Whereas No Way Home stayed
Stuck with you. Okay, fair enough.
engraved in my brain.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I definitely had a better reaction when Cap grabbed the hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
because
know.
no one knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But everyone kind of knew. Like there was rumors and blah 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 that they were going to be in it, and then I don't think it compares. I really don't.
I get what you're saying. Like I can imagine if there was never a rumor about that, I don't think the movie would have popped as much until like 2 weeks. But then it would have ruined the movie for other people.
Exactly.
So I think they needed like a little rumor,
Like a little rumble.
started.
Little rumble.
Yeah. I think one opinion that I have that I always get disagreed with is with the Spider-Man movies. Because I'm such a big Tobey Maguire fan, the originals. When I watched the first, what's his name? Tom Holland movie.
Yeah.
I came out of that cinema so pissed off because I was like, why is Spider-Man dumb as shit?
That is so true.
I was like, why is he so dumb? He doesn't know what he's doing. He's, and I get it's, like he's going to learn and Tony Stark's going to teach him. But in the original Spider-Man, he's just the shit straight away. So I think it took me a while to warm up to Tom Holland. That's for sure.
It's crazy because like all three of them are kind of different. Like Tobey Maguire's just the best Spider-Man to ever live.
I
He's
disagree. I
the
think Andrew
smartest,
Garfield's a better Spider-Man.
He is good.
He is good, but I love the Amazing Spider-Man movies more than the Tobey Maguire trilogy.
Okay.
Besides the first one.
Yeah.
But I think the Amazing Spider-Mans are too romantic, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so like heavily based just like on romance. I don't know, like if you get what I mean. It felt too mainstream kind of.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they did a really good job. Like they put a higher budget into it as well.
Yeah.
Like I did like it. I wasn't disappointed, but nothing beats Tobey Maguire's.
Nah.
Those movies got too Sony'd.
They did get too Sony.
Yeah.
And then
That's
like,
it.
but to be honest, I was upset when she died in number 2.
I cried like a
That-
bitch.
that
I cried as
and
well.
it was quite brutal.
It was.
Quite.
Yeah, it was.
quite
You watch
fucked
her
up.
head hit the ground.
Like boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
And
like,
you hear the
"Ah,
snap as well. It's like,
Mom.
fuck.
Yeah.
Mom.
Besides Green Goblin, Electro is my favorite. My second favorite villain though.
Yeah. I like.
I just love Jamie Foxx, man. He's such a
Jamie Foxx,
gangster.
He's
eh?
a gangster.
Yeah, he did nail that role for sure.
All right, let's do the Instagram questions. There's only 3.
Yeah.
You got some as well from your story.
I did get a few here and there, but most of them are actually the same question that I always get asked, and they were my favorite horror movies.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So the first question we have is, what's one snack that you can't live without?
Me.
I knew you were gonna say. I was gonna say, don't say it. But
That's that's probably my snack I can't live without. But if we're going for food, like physical food.
physical food.
Me again.
And don't.
That is a hard one. Because I love my chips.
What's your
So-
favorite flavor? And what brand?
Oh, honestly, I love just sea salt.
Me too. What brand
Legend,
though?
bro, legend.
What brand? That's the biggest part because
There
there's
is a-
multiple.
I've always eaten the Red Rock Deli, but there is a new one I've just eaten that is fire. What is it?
Tyrrells.
Tyrrells.
Have you
What
heard
the
of them?
fuck is
They're
that?
they're way bougie. Like they're literally like $6 a packet, and he's
Oh
obsessed.
yeah, that's
with
out of my
Tyrrells?
price range.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
If they're
Where
good,
do
I
you
have
get
to
them
try
from?
it.
Do you get them from like Coles, Woolies?
They're
or
in Woolies, but they're like, you have to look a bit harder than normal, and they're just like, there's only 2 that do like the cheese and chives
Ooh.
Okay.
and the sea salt, and they're so good.
Yeah.
I get them. I try and get them like every evening when we're watching movies and stuff. They're
Nice.
great. Mm.
Yeah, I'm a Red Rock Deli diehard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love the
Balsamic
honey
ones.
soy chicken ones, man.
Nah, they're my least
Ooh.
favorite, eh?
Fuck. Or the
I'm-
sweet chili ones.
Yeah, no, the sweet
Ooh.
chili, bro.
Fuck.
They're top tier.
Yeah.
Damn, they hit different. We have a mate called Charlie who sent in his feet, so we have to rate the feet.
Yep.
I don't we're not making this a trend on the podcast. But,
You got to pay extra for that.
I can't say I've rated feet before. But
I can't actually see them properly, but we'll have to get
Funny
them
you
up.
say feet because I got my first home tats last night on my feet.
Oh,
Get him out.
Get him out. We want to see
Get him out. I'll get the feet pic of
I have
Charlie.
very
up.
ugly feet.
Oh
The
my-
camera cannot see you, but
I feel like we're on the movie Taken when they're.
I love how your feet are going in. You're like,
I got the lightning bolt and I got 95.
Subject 5, please.
ka-chow, bitch. All right,
That's
here's
so
the feet.
funny.
I'll pass you the phone. So that's
Alright.
Charlie's foot. That's the best I can do. I'm sorry. Can't do any better.
It's a bit hairy for me.
probably just hairy enough for me.
He spread the toe, just the toe. So that's, mine is a bit of points.
Were you a feet connoisseur?
Well, I've never done this before, so I'm trying to be
Put in the effort.
trying to put in the effort.
Make him feel special.
Our
Rate
questions
dogs.
aren't normally this weird. They're normally weirder. Just FYI.
I'm all
So this
about
is
it.
quite tame.
Throw them at me. Yeah, I'm gonna give that a 6 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
What about you, Emma?
Oh, they're hideous. Should we send him a photo back? How do you do that? You should just send a photo of you back like this. 10 out of 10.
Say 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Nice toes.
Charlie will be chuffed with that.
Yeah, I hope so. Merry Christmas.
All right, we have one more. All right.
Hear it.
It is rhythm related, I believe. Classic production question.
Yes.
How loud should rhythm / tear out be? How do you mix your songs to be that loud?
Now, I think I get asked that a lot. I think the loudness of a song, like there's a loudness wars, and I get asked in scientific, in LUFs and things like that, how
Yeah.
a loud song should be. But I think it doesn't matter as long as you're enjoying making it, first of all.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just turn it up. You just,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You could
And
just
if it's,
turn it up.
obviously if it's like bullshit low, then we maybe we'll have to do a session and I'll teach you. But it's just about whether you enjoy making the song. But how do I make them loud? I would say is people focus on the master a lot, mastering a track and leave everything to there. But if you have a good mix, then you don't need to master. That's why I always tell people. So if you mix everything and push it to its limit, every channel that you're mixing, then from the get-go, then you'll have a nice loud mix, and you barely need to do anything on the master at all. And that's probably the best advice I'll give people is focus on your mixing and stay away from random fat racks that you keep finding from other artists. Because they are just big chains with 10 saturators and compressors on them. And they just, you can take it all off and just EQ it to make it louder. So just stop doing all that shit. You don't need it. Okay. Just pretty much mixing from the ground up, from the get-go, from the start, and you'll get a nice clean mix, is what I would say.
Nice. So you said you teach, is it production or DJing or both?
I teach, I don't really teach DJing. I teach production and engineering.
Oh, cool.
Sound design, everything like that. And I also I help people with their brands and, how to be happy with their vision and what they want to achieve, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. I like that. The vision. I feel that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Be happy with what, because I find a lot of artists will create different genres because they're a bit confused of what they want to do. But I think if you get a image in your head or create a story in your head of what you're going to be, because if you have a story and for example a character and a meaning behind your name, like mine didn't have a meaning, like AVANCE doesn't really mean anything, so I've pretty much created a meaning. So it was a lot harder for me to do it than having a name that means something where you could easily spitball ideas from it. But mine, I had to create something and it took a while. So now I'm known as being a horror icon in electronic music, which is what was my goal. You think of my name and you think of horror, which is what I tried to do, and it's creating that image. And now when people think of me, how many people watch horror movies or thriller movies and they can relate to what I do, and now they feel like they know me and they want to listen to my music, and that's how it works. So if you're teaching someone, what do you want to be? What video games do you play? What movies do you watch? What are you interested in? Are you interested in Fallout, for example?
Yeah.
And you love that game. Maybe create a story similar to that, and then create your brand off that, and then people can go, oh shit, that looks like Fallout, for example.
Yeah.
And then it gives you something, and then when you go to write your music, you can you have a story, you can create a story in your head. Like every song that I write, the names that they're called, like for example, the Boogeyman. I was like, that's actually inspired by John Carpenter Halloween. The melody on that is, and I thought that's going to be like the Boogeyman, like Michael Myers coming to get you. So I kind of had that in my head and wrote a story to it. And it was easy to do because it just flowed. And I think that I teach that to people, which is in a way marketing, but it's, I don't know what else you would call it. But, how to succeed in your own mind.
That's wicked.
That's fucking sick. What the hell?
Maybe we should make the podcast a story.
Yeah, we should. That's crazy state because this year because I DJ as well, I actually played after you at HBF Stadium.
I told him that.
Yeah. That was my third set.
Yeah.
Ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
I bet you were nervous.
I was gonna throw up. I was in that green room and I was like throwing up and had like one of the other boys like pat my back. It's like it's all right. Like you deserve this and all this stuff. But I didn't really know like where I was going as well with mine. Like I changed my name since then. Now I've had like help from like Dalim. He does your visuals. Like he did mine.
He's a great dude.
He's great. Yeah, he did mine. He helped me as well. Like create a vision of what I want to be. And it's kind of like multiverse kind of style because I'm like in different genres now. Like I do bassline, dubstep,
absolutely,
D&B, and he's kind of just helped me build this image of myself and what I want my project to be.
That's a great idea. I've done similar kind of things. Yeah, so it means that if you're a multiverse, you can do different genres, and each release you do or EP you do can be a certain brand that you stick to, and they'll go, oh shit, that's going to be dubstep or that's going to be drum and bass from the branding you do. And it's going to be you stepping into each multiverse, and that allows you to, from the branding you do, to be able to create different genres and not have people go, this isn't dubstep. They'll know. Yeah. And that's smart to do that.
Yeah, cool. Yes, I'll win. All right, I've got one massive question to ask you.
Yeah.
It's like been on my mind for probably, 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is Ice Destruction?
Left question.
Yeah. I get asked that daily.
Daily?
Daily. The Sudden Death collabs. We wrote those. One we wrote when he came here to Australia. We wrote it in a apartment on the top of a microwave.
What?
Yeah, we had a laptop on top of a microwave, and we just had like a carton of beer, and we were just hanging out and put the laptop on top of the microwave and just wrote that whole song. And it was both of our favorite songs we'd both ever written because we just pushed the boundaries and did shit that was technically wrong, and it came out with that. And it's called Ass Destruction because and everyone calls it that. So when it actually if it comes out, people are not gonna know because it's actually called Evil World Magic.
True.
Evil Word Magic.
Okay, yeah.
But before the drop, it says Mass Destruction. And before I think he played Lost Lands, he sent me a revise of it, and he'd just faded off the M.
Yeah.
So it says Ass Destruction. And on that live stream, he actually points at the camera, and he's looking at to say to me I've changed it, and he thought it was funny to put Ass Destruction. So and it just stuck.
Yeah, cool.
But we did that one, and then I went to LA and we did Create Undead. Which are both of those. There's only a clip out of Create Undead.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be out on Void, on one of the Voids or something, or maybe it will be a single. I'm not sure, but to be honest, I have no idea.
True.
I can just continue to play it out, and it's definitely one of the most sought after songs in our industry I've found over the years. But I think he's just so busy.
Yeah.
And has so many collabs, and like me, a perfectionist. And is trying to put out the best all the time. So that one's just kind of on the back burner at the moment, and keeping it for live shows.
Sick.
No, that is legit. Like I remember, every your Disciple mix. I think you put it in it, and every Sudden Death live show, just try and find it.
Yeah.
Just to listen to it, and
I always try and tease it in things here and there.
Yeah, you
always play it at
just
shows.
a big fuck you, eh?
Yeah. I might make another version of it because the original, laser kind of. Hit that it has on that drop. I still have all that, so I might make an alternate version for fun. Not just like a shittier version of it. I'm going to make it different, but just in the meantime. But it will come out eventually. But at the moment, it's a playable. Is what we've called it. So people can hear it at shows only.
Yeah, cool. And that would make a lot of people come to your shows, which is
absolutely.
It's really
good. When they hear that
every time I hear it, I cry.
Yeah.
I remember you played after Gentlemen's Club at the Aberdeen Hotel, and I remember telling you, I was like, I want to hear it, and you're like, I'll play the second drop.
Yeah.
And you played, and I was like, God. I was like, me and my mate Jay, every time I drop, we'd push each other and go nuts, and you play, we're like, this is it.
Yep.
That was just that topped our year, eh?
I have to say, even to this day, that is one of the songs I have that has never got boring. People haven't got sick of it.
No.
Like, even when I play it now, obviously probably is because it's not out, but when I still play, the reaction's always still the same, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
But we're actually looking at creating more songs. So
Do like an EP or something together.
You guys are very similar, so it would make sense.
Yeah.
very,
makes sense.
when we hang out, like, we're very similar the way we write, and we get along very well. So I think that's why we wrote both those songs within hours.
Cool.
Which is really cool. And at the moment, I've got a lot of songs with a lot of people that would be exciting. Marauder, me and him have just started writing music.
Me.
Stop it.
Yeah, we've got two that we wrote. He came to our apartment and just wrote. We just had some fun, wrote some music.
Yep.
And they're going to be playables only.
Okay.
And then we're going to write a serious one because we agreed that we could release these two, but if we're going to make something, it needs to be like, Ask Destruction. It's got to be game changing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna we're at the moment writing one.
Cool.
But at my next run of shows, so Brisbane will probably be the next show. I'm gonna have the Marauder collabs and stuff in there as well as various others. So
Sick. That's
Yeah.
exciting then.
busy boy.
Yeah, busy. That's kind of.
Well, hey, if you ever come back like in the near future with your friends, Sudden Death and anyone else, you can feel free to bring them on.
I'd be happy to come along. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to pick his brain. Hey,
Sudden Death is like my number one since I was, since that Black Label EP.
Yep.
He's always been my top. Like,
Yeah.
I think his like music writing is just next level, and he just keeps getting better and better and better.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's the music writing, and it's also the image and the community that he's created.
Yeah.
Very much done what I've been wanting to do, but he's done his own lane, and like where I feel like I can keep doing what I'm doing, but he's just killed it. He's got a festival now.
Yeah.
And the running two different aliases at the same time and can play them in the same show. It's insane when he's done.
Yeah.
But it is really inspiring.
It is very.
And that's kind of my goal as well, just to inspire people, and it seems to be working. I'm turning lots of people into really evil horror people.
fucking
like a cult.
I'm not a cult. I'm not a cult. Yeah.
I have one more question before we do end the show. We're doing a series called the TVHS, the Being Human Show, Hottest 100, but the bass edition.
Right.
So we do that. We started it last year. All bass genres.
Right.
What would be your number one bass tune of the year? You are allowed to pick your own tune, but I also want another tune as well.
That is hard.
Any genre?
Because we're actually sorting the list out right now.
Yeah.
Because we released it a few days before the Triple J Hottest 100.
Yeah. So my favorite to pick two songs.
You
That was way more than I expected before. All right. Well, I do have here a list of some of my favorites from the year.
Fantastic.
Because I can't remember everything.
We do love lists on this podcast, don't we,
Yeah.
Vin?
Organised.
Very difficult. I mean, I really did like Wicked Death Chant by Murte.
Okay, yeah. Bro, next level.
Yeah.
This year, like, that production, like, his sound design is literally insane, bro. I rate that.
Yeah, when I hit him up, because we did that collab for my EP,
Yeah.
and when I hit him up, and he was like, "Oh shit, you're a massive inspiration to me." So and the whole dark horror, and I was like, "Well, that works perfectly. Do you want to do this track called Skin Suit?" Well, we actually named it after we started writing. Sorry, but yeah, I was like, "Do you want to jump on this track?" And then that just flowed really quickly. So yeah, his Wicked Death Chant song I played quite a lot in my sets, and then. Toot my own horn. I'll name one of my own. Does it have to be a new one?
Could be whatever you.
It has to be 2022.
2022.
Has to be this year.
Okay, so it has to be one of my new ones.
Yeah.
I would say I really enjoyed making Boogeyman.
Yep.
Purely because like I said, if you know John Carpenter and like the Halloween movie, and then you know that, listen to that song, it's very inspired by that, and the whole goal of that was to just have real percussive, hit you in the chest, kind of violent sounds.
Yep.
Like it's someone coming after you, like a real intense horror movie scene. So that one I would name.
What about the one you did with Hades?
Demons
Oh,
are like
dude.
dogs.
That's my favorite.
That's what I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
I actually stumbled across that accidentally, right? And because it was his tune, but you were
It's
featured
a
on it, right?
girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Hades is a girl.
She
Yeah.
sings on the track.
Yeah,
Oh, I
that's-
love
that's-
that.
That's her,
Do you
yeah.
know what? I was actually speaking to May about this the other day. May's my partner.
Yeah.
Hi, Maya.
Hey,
I don't think she listens.
She doesn't. She doesn't.
Oh.
you do now.
I was
Back
saying
off.
how there needs to be way more female. Like, there's not enough female. Like, all the female producers and DJs that I know are literally incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm so for it. I reckon, do you know what we should do one day?
What?
When we start our own event, we should do female only.
I 100% agree.
I fucking love that idea.
There's a lot of crazy girl talent.
Especially in
Absolutely.
Perth, man.
Yeah.
There's so many coming up. Like,
Yeah.
holy
I've
fuck.
heard that. Yeah.
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 I feel like it's hard for them to transition. We have so many like cool Perth DJs, but not a lot are producing. I feel
Yeah.
like
I do feel
it
that.
takes them so long to transition
Mm,
over. Like
mm.
someone needs to be helping these girls out.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Give them a
Right?
platform.
Yeah.
Give
Help
them a
these girls
platform.
out.
Yeah, well, I was doing a compilation thing that I'm mentioning, and that was a goal of it as well, is to be 50-50, not just all dude artists, because there are so many talented female artists out there, and I want to include them on there, so because there's so much talent out there.
There is.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the Hades track, she's going like she worked for Bring Me the Horizon. Like,
Oh,
No
true.
shit.
and
Yeah,
they're one of my
she's big.
favorite bands. So
That is my favorite band.
Yeah, she's going down
Easily.
that avenue, like punk electronic, and
That's wicked.
that was the goal for our tune. And we're now I'm working on new material for us to do a bunch more songs together.
I love that.
So yeah, that's definitely a favorite of mine.
That's my favorite,
moment.
I think.
Yeah.
But my brain, I don't focus very well, so it's like that was the newest, so that's what I like.
That one just came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's wicked. All right.
Well, we normally ask everyone that comes on the podcast,
Yeah.
music-wise, do you have any, what do we say? My
Like
mind's gone
tips or advice for
any
up-and-comers?
newcomers for producing or...
Ooh. Actually, yes. Don't reference everything you love so much. So when I write music, I'll not listen to anything other electronic based music I like at all, because I want to do stuff that's unique to me, because otherwise you find that you'll subconsciously write what you like too much. So just try and kind of take influence from things like movies and games, like I've mentioned, because then it will shape, because that's things that you like as a person. So you can then shape your own music without having too much influence. So like how people reference tracks, they'll have a track in their Ableton or their DAW, and they'll reference that track to try and make sure it's as good as that. Things like that. Don't do that. Don't shut yourself out from the music you like for a couple of days before you write, and you'll find that you'll come up with more unique material. That's
Okay.
what I would say.
That's crazy you say that, because we've actually had on the podcast, I think twice now, to reference
To
from tracks.
Really?
yeah. No,
Who said it?
Bomb and Nexus.
Nexus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I guess they're still creating. They're good at making music, but they're still creating their own ideas.
Yes.
They're still
Yeah.
building
Yes.
up their brands. Whereas
Yeah.
Dan's got a pretty solid brand,
Yep.
and he's got a pretty good idea with like. Sometimes we make music together. It won't be the genre that he makes, but we'll literally just like get drunk, make music, and then the next night we'll do the same thing. And I'll be like, let's look at the other track, and Dan will be like, let's not, because then we're gonna start writing that track again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing how much, if I listen to a bunch of dubstep for a day and I write, then I'll be sitting there and I'll go, that just sounds like Sudden Death or something that I've been listening to earlier. So shut yourself out. Like I literally put on movie scores. I'll put on, even though that if Emma walks into a room and I'm listening to the Scream soundtrack on vinyl, it probably looks like I'm a psycho, but
Yeah.
it sets the mood for me, and I haven't heard any dubstep or anything like that, and I can sit there and write something that's new that hasn't been done.
Yep.
And that's how I do what I do, because it's not like anyone else, and that's the goal. You want to be different, you want to be unique. So that's probably my best advice for people. That
Waking
are
up at
writing.
3 a.m. to him making music with the Scream soundtrack on is pretty fucking scary. With,
Chucky
like, the-
dolls everywhere in the room. and
Literally
stuff.
American Psycho book in hand. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm getting murdered.
All right, well, we end the episode with our song of the week.
Yeah.
So we'd like to know what your song of the week is.
Song of the week, actually.
From-
Again, you can toot your own horn if you
No,
like.
it's I've been listening to a lot of Fred again lately, and I know that's been mentioned
Oh yeah.
Yes,
a lot.
Oh yeah.
And because it's the end of the podcast, but I would explain why I like him so much. But he makes good music. We'll leave it there. But probably "Smile on My Face." It's called Danielle. "Smile on My Face."
I love that
Oh,
So
stop
good.
it.
And that one just such a good vibe. Like
Just going to play it now.
tune. Yeah.
And be a smile on my face.
Is
wanted to see him at his own show.
Yes,
That's more than
I
fair
know,
enough.
I know.
know.
Like that boiler room set that blew him up.
Yeah.
It just crashed though when we
We tried to get a ticket. He's doing a few secluded shows, and I want to see him for the first time in his own setting.
Yep.
Just him, and I can't get a ticket. So if anyone has a ticket, please do give it to me.
Help
Or
him
I'll
out.
buy it.
Don't give up, man, because I did that for Skin on Skin, right, when he came here.
Yeah.
And those tickets sold out literally in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I spent until the very last, like that day,
Mm.
I managed to get 2 tickets that day.
I have hope.
So don't
Dan
give
will
up.
give you a big kiss.
Yeah.
Never give up.
And they're both boys.
All right, Emma, what's your song of the week?
Oh shit. That one too.
You've
That one too?
been listening to it. Yeah.
We just
yeah.
been listening to Fred again.
Yeah.
so
lately.
I've listened to Jungle and Pull Me Out of This on repeat.
Yeah.
That's what I've been listening to.
The
The
whole
other-
album we've just like been putting. We even got my mum into it. Before we left, we were like, we're going food shopping, and Dan just put it on the TV and was like, listen to this. And now she's like, oh, can you play Fred again?
Yeah, it's been
Nice.
non-stop. Fred again lately, but
Yeah, I've been listening to Jungle, especially the second drop.
yeah. What's the other one? There's another one by him, but I can't remember what it's called. It's with the poet on it.
I'm a poet, and I didn't not even know
I didn't even know I was rhyming these words. No, I can't remember the name of it right now, but yeah. Let me have a look.
It was on the same EP.
It is called I Found You.
Oh, yeah, that one. Have you listened to that one?
About to now.
I found you beautiful. I found you exploding. I found you.
This is all a poet.
Yeah.
I found you. I found you.
It's kind of beautiful.
It is kind of beautiful. I kind of zoned out for a second. I was like,
Found you
shit.
exploding.
This bit here.
I found you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is beautiful.
Probably not as heavy as you guys normally listen to.
No, you know what? I love all kinds of music besides heavy metal.
I like listening to my like hell chill, like
Yeah.
kind of deep house kind
Yeah.
of stuff. I
My
love
music
that.
taste is very, very spread out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
actually listen to dubstep at home. And normally at pre's, if I go to play a show, and I'll always play music in the hotel or whatever. And every time, like if it's fans that come and hang out with me or whatever, they're always like, "What the fuck is this?" That's Fleetwood Mac the Chain. Are you serious?
Yeah, no, I,
Uncultured.
Yeah.
you know, I'm very
ABBA.
UK
Yeah.
scene besides the dubstep, but I'm very like D&B bassline.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just throw off that. And then, yeah, so my tune of the week is Listen Up by Firebeats.
Out to the bass, yeah.
Ooh. A little snare's nice.
I love this kind of music when it's summer, festivals are coming up. This gives you that vibe when you're about to enter the festival. You're like,
Snag
yeah.
clap. Whoa, drums.
What about you, Lockie?
I don't know if it's on Spotify. You can try it. My song of the week is Flashbang. It is by a couple of Perth locals. I'll have to get them.
We
up.
love to see
It is.
it,
It is
Perth
Vanham and
locals.
Dexam.
Oh, it is on Spotify because we added it.
Did we? Oh yeah, we did. We added it to the
Top 100.
Actually, no, we didn't.
I know Van.
Yeah.
He's sick.
He is. He's
He's-
fucking
No,
incredible.
we have him in we've had the
Bunda.
Bunda project
Oh,
on the
yes.
podcast.
Yeah,
Him and
yeah.
Dexam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
this
Van I
song.
know, and he's really cool.
These vocals are actually Vanham's girlfriend, Trina.
Oh, is it?
I love this song so much. It's coming.
Coming.
It's a nice break.
It's such a beautiful tune, eh? There's like a switch. It's fucking sick. You can tell
Oh.
Vanham had his own little influence on it.
Yeah.
Like that little whatever it is.
Well, yeah, you guys
Um,
nailed that. I have to listen to that in full when I get home.
Yeah. It's literally probably one of my favorite songs of the year. I'm not even gonna lie.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it
Yeah,
heaps.
appreciate
Thanks
your
for having
time.
me. I'll be back.
It's been a pleasure.
Oh,
yeah,
it's great to hear, mate.
come whenever you want, mate. It's all yours.
Thanks for letting me tag along.
Anytime,
You're more than welcome.
anytime.
You're also welcome whenever you want.
Cool. I'll be here next week.
Okay, no worries.
So, yeah, we're not here next week.
I'm busy that day.
We're actually playing in Mandurah next week.
We are. Well,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
me and
Yeah.
Vinny are headlining our first show.
Yep.
January 6th in Mandurah.
What's the venue?
Top floor.
Top floor.
Top
Bit of
floor.
a boiler
The
room.
boiler
Hell
room.
yeah.
With all the Mandurah boys. Like
Danye,
Danye Shocks.
local.
We may be here. My birthday's next week, and we'll either be
Yeah.
here or we're
Or
going to go to
Bali.
Bali.
When's your
or
birthday?
something.
The ninth.
January 9th.
On the 11th.
Oh,
Well,
damn.
there you go. Well, you have to come now.
Joint birthday
Yeah.
party.
Yeah.
I'll hit you up,
Say
Vinny,
less.
if we're here. I'll message you.
Let's do it.
Yeah, come
Check
through.
you back to back or what?
Why not?
Should we also announce the other one we're playing? New Year's Day?
Yes, we are playing the No One But Us after party, 1 to 2 a.m. A little bit of filthy bass line, dubstep,
Drum and bass, all of it.
Drum and bass, jump up.
Be fucking
We're
sick.
closing that shit, so we're just gonna go hard as fuck. And it's the end of a festival, so everyone's gonna be wanting to party on.
And they're handing out free beers.
Yeah.
Only if you pay for them.
For a small price.
Yeah, so yeah.
But yeah.
Do you have anything you want to kind of announce or any shows or anything coming up?
Well,
We do have a bit of an over East viewing, so if you have any shows coming up, you can.
I guess it
plug
depends on when the audience will hear this. 'cause
This will be coming out on the. What's the date today?
The
29th.
It'll probably be coming
It'll
out.
be midweek, first week of January.
Be Wednesday.
He's been
Yeah.
pretty brief with a lot of stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
January 5th, it'll be out.
I think. I mean, nothing apart from New Year's Day in Brisbane.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
But the other stuff I can't really announce yet. Most
Yep,
of them
no
are.
worries.
Yeah, most of them are overseas.
Secrets.
So yeah, lots of secrets.
Stay tuned. Follow the
yeah.
socials. I'll put his Instagram right here. We'll be at the start of the video as well.
Yeah.
But if you're listening, go check out the description on YouTube. All the links will be in there. But yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it heaps.
Thanks for having me.
All right, have a
Appreciate
face. Oh, shit.
Have a what?
What was that?
Have a face. Have a face light. Is that what you're gonna say?
This beer rocked me, alright?
Same, bro. Fucked.
Oh, bro.
Happy New Year's for anyone watching this, and I hope 2023 is great.
Yeah.
Love yous.
Bye.
See ya.